Sending data. My Discord picked it up.
Something screwy over here.
It says we're live on YouTube now. Hey, there we go. All right. So I don't know what the heck happened. I've never seen that before, but for some reason we were streaming to all the other platforms, but YouTube was not live. But I believe we're live on YouTube now.
Are you sure? Because
mine still says no.
It says it here that it's streaming, and I just refreshed my own YouTube page, and it says that we're live on Party Chat.
Let me double check then one more time.
I keep going back to the actual Party Chat thing. I'm not.
Now you're live now. Yeah, you're live.
All right. Well, that was a weird thing that I've never seen before, but I believe it's all fixed, and we're live on YouTube now. So, anyways, we're just going through intros and I'm saying hi to Carl and Ryan. And for some reason, YouTube wasn't live, but the other platforms were. So I have no idea. Never seen that happen before, but I think we're all fixed now. So glad you guys could join us. And we'll just go ahead and continue on because that was very weird. But let's say hi to our guest host for today, who's a friend that has not been on Party Chat before, but has been on Open Mic about a year ago. What's up, Static? How's it going?
Hi. It's going. It's going. You know, it's Tuesday. Just counting down for Friday.
Weirdly, today is my Friday.
Nice. So, well, excellent. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. I said, you guys probably heard it in the intro, but the streams didn't hear it since, YouTube wasn't live. But I thought of a question just about 30 minutes ago I should have put on there, so I'm going to surprise you with one. It shouldn't be too difficult. And I don't even have an answer for it, but I want to hear what you guys do if you happen to have an answer for it. So if you don't have an answer for it, no worries. So, but we'll go ahead and get on into not our topics, but what we usually start off with on each episode of Party Chat is, for those that it applies to, what have you been playing lately? Carl, have you been playing anything lately?
Just been playing Metaphor when I can. I finished up Black Ops 6's campaign last weekend. Really enjoyed it. Probably the most fun I've had with a Call of Duty in years because I don't really play too many Call of Duties that much anymore.
Yeah, I haven't played one. I played a little bit of Modern Warfare 1, the remake that came out in like 2019, but the last time I played one before that was the original Modern Warfare 2, so I'm not big on the Call of Duty thing either.
Yeah, and then
you like it though?
Yeah, I really do like it. I recommend it. It's on Game Pass if people just want to check it out before they try it. I was actually impressed by it. Gotta say, really did enjoy it. Everyone online that I follow on Twitter was saying really good things, so I checked it out and I was like, well, they were telling the truth.
And what aspects of it have you checked out so far? Since I know it's got the campaign, it's got the multiplayer, and I think it's also got zombies.
I just play campaign. If anyone wanted to play zombies, I'd download that and play with them. But I don't play multiplayer anymore. I'm done from being a sweat lord.
Yeah, I'm not big on PvP either. But all right, cool. Yeah, the campaign's the biggest thing that I'm interested in COD games. Also,
it's pretty fun. I think it's kind of interesting. I think it was like 10 hours or something like that. So it was got some heft to it for sure to keep you occupied.
All right.
And then basically after that, I've just been playing a couple older games. Re-downloaded Rome Total War, so I've been playing Rome Total War like that. Glory to the Carthage Empire. And after that, I've just been also playing Far Cry Primal again because I got the itch.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you last night, but it's in my shopping cart right now since it's on sale for like 80% off or something on Xbox. So, and I'm going to pick it up due to your recommendation.
Yeah, like I said, it's the more unique Far Cry game, probably out there. It's probably one of the more unique games out there in general because, it just takes place during caveman time, and they did a lot of work with this game. Like I said before, they brought in people to make up a fake language. It's very interesting to have like that perspective of like prehistoric man where you're fighting saber-toothed tigers and stuff like that. It's still fun. It still holds up really well, and I do enjoy it. Great podcast game, by the way.
Okay. Nice. Cool. Well, I will be checking that out sometime because I'll be picking that up and putting in my backlog for when I finally get to starting all my new games. So, All right, Ryan. What about you? You got any chance to play anything lately?
Actually, I have. Well, not this week per se, but I have actually over the last couple of weeks played some video games, some multiplayer kind of games. Myself, Horny Alf, Mustang, and Wolverine Snicked. Actually, on Wednesdays we usually get a chance to try to play World of Warships.
Okay, that's right.
And it's a lot of fun. It's online, and it kind of takes place with basically just old style battleships and cruisers and all that kind of stuff, and it's a blast. And on top of that, I got invited when I first played with them. I actually got invited to play Space Dwarfs. It's not
Oh,
called that. It's
Deep
called
Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic, and I was like, I don't know. All right, we'll try. It's actually a lot of fun.
I haven't played it yet, but my buddy Paul Hadouken loves that game.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. I know Paul. The dudes are actually playing right now. So I mean, if they do like a normal 3 hour or 4 hour stream, I might get to join them tonight. But if not, it's cool. I'll see like Alpha and stuff like that most likely for and them for World of Warships tomorrow night. So, but it is a lot of fun. It's weirdly fun. I don't understand it.
Like it. Yeah, it's on Game Pass right now, but it's been on Game Pass for like 4 years, and it was on sale for like $10 a couple weeks ago. So I picked it up because like it's probably going to leave Game Pass pretty soon. I'm not going to be playing it before then, and it's like a 500-hour completion. So I was like, I'll buy it just in case.
Yeah, I ended up buying it on Steam when it was like I think it was like $10.
And I believe it has crossplay as well.
So I didn't know Paul played. I might have to.
Yeah, hit up Paul. He loves that.
Yeah,
game.
like religiously, he plays it.
Yeah, I might have to give him a shout too. No, it really is a lot of fun. So if anybody
crossplay, it does have crossplay.
Outstanding.
Rock and Stone.
Rock and Stone.
It has Game Pass and Steam crossplay, but I think the PlayStation is left out.
That I don't know about. But all right. Well, cool. Sounds like fun. Static, what about you? Have you been playing anything lately?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I know you
all
like
right.
to keep it family friendly, so I'll try and be appropriate with this, but I'm very loose when it comes to my video games. And I've been playing Starship Troopers Extermination.
Okay.
I've been playing that with Dermy and all the guys just randomly. That is a complete
It's a crap shoot, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have 16 players in that, I think, right?
Yeah, and that's so awesome.
That's nuts.
It's so good. And then I've also been playing. I just restarted another playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
That's kind
nice
of
quick
like
short game.
Yeah, well, when you're just sitting there and you don't really want to do anything.
Is that one of your comfort food games?
What's that?
Is that one of your comfort food games? Like, I can't figure out what I want to play. I'll just throw on Red Dead.
Yeah, just chilling. I'll go hunt. Maybe I'll go do one of the little story missions or something. You just kind of do whatever the heck you want. So that, and then I've also been playing Rocksmith, the old version, because I found a way to get custom songs into the library.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I've been learning songs that are more about the bands that I'm more into.
That's awesome. Yeah. I was a big fan of the, the Guitar Heroes and rock bands. I always wanted to get Rocksmith and actually learn the guitar, but I never did.
I love Rocksmith because you can actually learn the guitar. And I hate Guitar Hero because it's not the guitar.
Yeah.
But I also love Guitar Hero.
Yeah. My favorite instrument, though, ended up being the drums, but I always wanted to do the Rocksmith thing, but just didn't get around to it. So, as for myself, I have not been, I've not been playing any one game because I've been working on this challenge on True Achievements. The monthly challenge is genre bingo, and it gives you a bingo card with a bunch of different games of genres. You have to get an achievement in each one of the genres. So I've been jumping around to about 15 different games. So I haven't played any one thing this month, except I did complete Somerville the other day because that was leaving Game Pass. That's really the only thing that I played consistently, but it was a short, 5-hour completion, and it was very, it reminded me a lot of Inside, if you guys ever played Inside, which is like the spiritual successor to Limbo.
Nope.
Kind of like a puzzle
Never
platformer.
heard of that one.
So, Limbo came out. It was on the Xbox Live Arcade back on the 360. It's been ported to like the Xbox One and Windows versions. But it's basically one of those like very dark puzzle platformers where there's a little bit of ambient sound, or there's like no music. There's sound effects in it, but there's no music. There's no dialogue. You just like wake up in this world and you're puzzle platforming your way through the rest of the game without really any understanding of what's going on. But it was decent. It had a bunch of different endings. It was kind of weird. Somerville was about like this alien invasion. You're just like, you wake up and all of a sudden like your family's gone. You're like trying to figure out where they are, and then you find them, and then you leave the safe house for some reason. I don't know why, because there's no dialogue, and all this time you're like, there's no dialogue, so you don't really know what's going on. But I've just been playing a bunch of other stuff. Oh, and since we were gonna play Halo on Sunday morning, but Paul had to ditch on us because he forgot it was his mom's birthday. I hit up Dude and I was like, hey, since you played through Halos 1 and 2 with Paul, because Halo 1 and 2 are only 2-player co-op, so the four of us started with Halo 3. I was like, hey, would you mind playing through some levels of Halo 1 with me and help me get some of those par score achievements so we can go through it quicker? So we played about, I think we got like 3 levels left, so we got through most of Halo 1 on Sunday morning. But other than that, I've just been playing a bunch of different stuff, so nothing consistent. So but yeah, so let's go ahead and say hi to chat. We got Nerd Takes is here saying, what's up, everyone? And he's saying that he messed around with some zombies, Carl. So hit him up for some zombies on Black Ops. And Fractured Filters here. It was good to play with you last night, saying Blood Dragon's better than Primal. Blood Dragon is the only Far Cry I have played, and I really liked it. So I would agree with that, but I haven't played Primal yet, so I can't say definitively.
Yeah, I haven't played Blood Dragon yet either. It's on the to-do list.
So,
I wouldn't take anything he says seriously. He's a glowy.
Oh yeah, Fractured, 100%.
And Melee K is here saying, yeah, Deep Rock has been on Game Pass forever. Yeah, it's been like at least 4 years. So, and it's not a first-party game, so I'm sure it'll leave soon-ish. So, Amnaraz here with his usual moo. Good to see you, Amnarat. Moo to you.
I have a question. What's with the moo? I've been seeing a lot of moo lately.
That I don't know. It's just this thing.
We don't
I've seen it from other people.
Oh,
like just moo.
Yeah.
I have not seen it from anyone. I always just see it from Amnarat.
Okay, well, I've seen it from several other chats. Because I was like on Ryan Rogers the other day, and there was moo in chat, and I was like, why moo? What does it mean, moo?
Oh, and Fracture just reminded me, yes, we did play a good few hours of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer last night for Mass Effect Monday, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, the London map is by far the worst map in the multiplayer. So thank you for that reminder.
Yeah. And Fractured is saying that he also does, in fact, glow. I would say go get that looked at, sir. You know, like, I think I might have brought this up before, but like that actually was like an actual case that happened in like the 1920s or something, where a bunch of women were consuming that stuff to make themselves iridescent, and the company just covered it up.
Familiar.
Well, you know why Fractured glows, right?
He's pregnant.
He's a ginger.
Oh, he's a ginger?
He's a ginger.
That explains why he has no soul.
Uh-huh.
Everything's starting to make sense now. Why he's always hates everything. I would hate everything too if I had no soul.
A lot of people don't know about glowing. This is kind of a thing in history, like that. The illumination of like watches, like it used to have to be painted on by hand.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people don't know that. Like, and women were the most primary to do it, and they got so screwed. Oh my god, they got horrible cases of cancer.
Hold on.
And I think they did it on their teeth too to make.
Yeah, they would paint their teeth, their dresses, and everything.
I think Carl was telling me about that not that long ago because I was like, that's familiar. Someone was telling me about that.
And they were like melted. They like legit melted. They were dying. They had football-sized tumors. They consume so much of it too that their bones are even still glow in the dark. They say to this very for at least another 2,000 years.
That is horrific.
But I mean, wouldn't their bones? I guess they wouldn't disintegrate, but maybe the
bones
dust
take a long
glows?
time to decompose.
Well, radiology technicians in the past were mostly women, and they used to have to X-ray. They would used to X-ray their hands to actually make sure it worked. And it was said that they X-rayed their hands so many times that it's kind of the same effect. They got horrendous cancer, and it deformed their hands, and they started looking like claws and ganglion.
Yeah.
Messed up stuff.
But it's more insane too because these companies covered up the effects
Oh, yeah.
of the stuff too, and they fought for years to like win these cases. Like even so far as like they were on their deathbeds and they brought them in to testify. That's how bad it was getting.
Yep.
So Nerd takes with the dad joke. Talk about a glow up. All right, I'll see myself out. What?
Neil's like, what does this have to do with gaming?
Well, you see, Fallout, they have these creatures called ghouls, and some of them glow.
Nice segue.
So there you go. Let's bring it in.
The glowing ones.
And my good buddy dude is over on Rumble saying weird. I see you live on Rumble, but not PoopTube. Yeah, for some reason, Restream was being weird, and I have no idea why. I've never seen that before. But we're live everywhere, and he's saying Far Cry Primal uses the same map as the previous Far Cry game. I did hear that. I don't know which Far Cry that is. I think
4. It's Far Cry 4.
Okay, I was thinking it was 3, but I guess it's 4. So, Blop 6, online only single player. Oh, you have to be online just to play the single player.
Unfortunately, that's a drawback, but it's still good.
So, all right. Well, with that, now we'll go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with a something relevant to the coming up here on the end of the year. And so, for myself, I've played only 2 games that came out this year, and they're both like tiny little indie games. So, I don't really have anything to say on the big games that came out this year. But there are a bunch of big games that came out this year that I am looking forward to playing in the future. So, I'm curious from you guys, what games that came out this year have you not played but you want to? So, Static, do you have a game that came out this year that you're looking forward to playing?
I do. That game, there's 2 of them, but one more than the other. The game that I've been waiting for years to play is Black Myth Wukong.
That is my answer as well.
And when that came out, like when the first trailer came out, I had no idea it had anything to do with the Chi-Coms. And so I am not supporting that game right now, and I will buy it on a very, very steep discount because I think the game looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
People say it's a Souls-like. I have a feeling it's not.
Yeah, it's from everything I've seen, it's Souls-ish, but it's not a Souls-like.
It's just got a dodge, but I don't think it's as like punishing as a Souls game is.
Yeah. The devs have come out and specifically said it's more of an action RPG.
Yeah. But it looks great. I'm very curious. I've stayed away from most of the streams because I don't like getting spoiled. Like, that's spoilers.
Yeah.
Although for games like that, I don't play them for the story. The story on hack and slash type games like that are kind of inconsequential. But
I don't want to get spoiled on the bosses though. Like, that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I just want that wow moment. I walk into a corner and then all of a sudden, like, a 3-headed worm, snake, lizard, bird thing is attacking me. I'm like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
The other game I want to play is Dragon Dogma 2, but from what I understand, they haven't even started fixing the issues for that on PC.
Really? That came out in like February or something? That was like early in the year.
Yeah. I haven't looked into it in a while, but last I heard, people were still complaining about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it still had a lot of issues on console even still. So I'm not shocked. It seems like Dragon's Dogma is one of those games that came out this year, and I forgot it exists.
Yep. There's a lot of those.
Yeah. And we got Isaac 556.
Hey, Isaac.
Saying, hey, all. What's up, Isaac? Good to see you. I hope you're having a good evening. But yeah, Wukong is my number 1 because that's really the only game I've been looking forward to for like 3 years since it was announced. I'm like, that game looks amazing. And then they said, and then when they announced it, it said it's come to everything, and yet it's come out on PC and PlayStation, and we're still waiting for it on Xbox. I wouldn't have played it yet anyways because, as I always say, I'm frugal and patient, so I wait for everything to go like super discounted. It has nothing to do with the China thing, just that's just how I am basically with all games. So first has to come out on Xbox, and then when it does, I have to wait for it to go on sale. So it'll probably be a while till I play it, but I'm very much looking forward to playing that.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's just I'm waiting for a big discount because, like Static said, I don't support China.
Yep.
Yeah, understandable.
China.
Nerd Takes is saying that Wukong is great. It definitely looks like it. And then he wants to play Space Marine 2. That is my other big thing from this year that I want to play at some point.
That game is great. Absolutely worth it.
Looks awesome. And
Absolutely worth it. It's so great.
so, Filter, no, there is not nothing that came out worthwhile this year. There are some good games.
He's a soulless guy. What can we say?
Boo this man. We'll pass it to Filter on this one. So, Carl, what about you? I know you kind of keep more up to date on modern games more so than probably the rest of us three.
I just
So,
keep up on games in general. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like.
What came out this year that you haven't played that you're looking forward to playing?
Man, I don't really know. I mean, Wukong is like the only one that like is something I want to, but it's like that moral conundrum where it's like I want to play it, like I said, but I just really can't justify spending it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Stalker 2. That drops tomorrow, so
Oh, okay, cool.
I
know.
guess that's what I'm looking forward to. That's not technically out yet, but it comes out tomorrow. So like
Asterisk
that
next to it,
counts,
but
yeah.
it counts.
yeah.
It does come out this year. You haven't played it yet. Because by this time, typically pretty much everything that's coming out has come out yet, but we're right on that cusp of there's still some stuff that hasn't yet come out. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a few games. I'm waiting for my Brothership copy to come from PlayAsia. It got delayed, and it makes me upset. And then besides that, I'm very curious to see how this Indiana Jones game is going to be.
oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
still coming out,
I am
isn't
too.
it?
You know,
Yeah,
So-
what December?
December 9th.
Okay, I forgot
Just in
about
time
that
for
one.
Christmas.
I'm not like super looking forward to it. I'll probably play it eventually, but it's not like I can't wait for that game.
I'm in the same boat, but I really do enjoy machine games a lot.
They're well, I don't know if they did like the last Wolfenstein game.
It was Arcane
terrible.
in them. That's what it was. It was a mixture of both. I'm not a big fan of Arcane, but Machine Games has sold me. I love both of the all three of the Wolfenstein games they put out.
Yeah, Old Blood, New Order, and New Colossus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't play the second one, New Colossus, but I did play Old Blood and New Order, and those were really good.
Tough as balls. Unnecessarily tough as balls, that one. I don't know why. I was just like it made me question if I really sucked at video games. I'm like, why is this so hard? Am I just losing it?
Well, the New Colossus has an achievement for the super brutal achievement, which is like Mein Leben difficulty has almost a 25 ratio, which is insane. Only 362 people have it on Xbox out of the 223 people that have played the game.
I can believe it.
It's beating the game on the hardest difficulty, which also means permadeath, and you can't save, so you have to do it all in one sitting.
Yeah. No, that game is you know, you might as well just hammer your testicles, all right? It's probably more effective.
That achievement alone is the main reason why I haven't played this one, but I did really like Old Blood and New Order, and I do plan to play them again because I did the Xbox versions. I do plan to play the Windows versions so I can get the achievements again for them because I really like those games.
Which is the one that had the twin daughters?
That's the one I was just talking about. That was not good. That was
Oh yeah,
no,
Youngblood. Youngblood
yeah,
was trash.
That's the one
Yeah.
that you were saying is from Arcane, right?
Yeah, that was Arcane was the lead on there with assistance from Machine Games, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
that game doesn't exist.
No, I agree. I have that does not exist. It's just like we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the creepy uncle that you're going to see at Thanksgiving. We just don't talk about him.
the one who used to drive you to the movies in his car. Get a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
fancy.
Yeah. Dude saying that Astrobot was great. He gladly paid full price for that one. I've heard nothing but good things about
Yeah.
that one. Everyone has played
Astrobot
it.
does look cool. I don't know.
It is good. It is really good.
So you said you don't have a PlayStation to play it on.
No.
Is that what?
No, yeah, I don't know. I
Same
would
here.
if I had a PlayStation. That's definitely a game I would have bought this year.
Nice. Hey, dude says I can't wait to buy a used copy of Black Myth Wukong. So, yeah,
If I can ever find it, it is going to get a physical, but I highly doubt I'll see it at a game store anytime soon.
So, all right, let's see here. And James is here. Says, I wish we got Indiana Jones game where we fought the bad guys for a change.
The communists?
Coming from James, I know he's making some sort of I don't know if edgy is the right word, but it's some sort of joke. But I'm just not sure exactly who he's referring to because. But we'll go ahead and
I'm
move
going
on
to stop. I had
Ryan.
another joke to follow up on that one.
Ryan, what about you? What's come out this year that you haven't played that you're looking forward to?
I did forget about Indiana Jones. That one does intrigue me because it does seem to be looking like it's going to be positive as a game, unlike Dial of Diarrhea. Uh,
Ugh.
yeah, pretty much.
I call it
Uh,
Dial of Disaster, and I have to.
it's a good one. Dial of Dysentery. I
I
mean,
was talking about it on stream someone, and I was like, I can't remember what the actual name of the movie is because I just call it the Dial of Disaster all the time.
yeah, Dial does it. Dial of Does Anybody Care? But anyway, no. I'm actually, and this one's closer to basically my kind of like high school years as a kid. The Silent Hill 2 remake. Very iffy about it. I have seen some
Oh,
gameplay
that's
and
right. We were talking about that last episode.
it looks pretty good. I do
Uh,
have some problems with it because apparently you get to start busting out windows and hopping through them, and that was not in the original game. You had to work your way around because there were things you couldn't get through. Now, look, is it more realistic that you could break out a window and hop through it? Yes. But we'll see.
Extra Zero and my buddy JM both have played it. Both really love it. So
Okay. I definitely know Zero.
Yeah,
Yes.
'cause
So
we were talking
it's
about that last party chat, and because Ryan was saying he's like, I think you were saying that you weren't planning on playing it, even though you really want to. But then Carl was saying that he knows people that are liking it, and that kind of softened you to the idea of playing it.
yeah, my buddy JM, he's autistic when it comes to this stuff too, and he really loved it. He was saying a lot of good stuff. So if it impresses him, Ryan, high marks I can give.
okay. Yeah, sorry, I lost connection for like half a second again. Alluding to what I was talking to earlier. Something weird's going on. I don't understand.
I noticed no one said anything about Stellar Blade.
I was just gonna
Stellar
bring
mid?
that up because Melee K's chat says it's a strong year for gaming. I have a queue at this point, but want to give another chance to Stellar Blade Metaphor. And Slitterhead looks awesome. Want to sink more time into Balatro. I've heard good things about Balatro.
Balatro is so good they put it in Dave the Diver.
I heard Stellar Blade was really good. A lot of it went into, of course, obviously
The
The
culture
mechan-
war.
yeah,
That's
So-
all I heard about it was, oh my god, the culture war.
and the jiggle mechanics, which I mean, great. I mean, her butt jiggles, which
Ooh.
there's nothing wrong with it, but it jiggles kind of like it's a little bit of an ocean wave, and I'm like, it's a little much.
I was disappointed in that game.
Okay,
The latest 2B graphics that have come out are impressive, but otherwise, I don't really care about all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a clunky Dark Souls clone. Everyone tells me that it's not a Dark Souls clone. I'm like, I played the game. It's a Souls clone. It's not that great.
It did just get announced that it is not that we didn't, everyone already assumed, but we did get confirmation this week that it is coming to PC. So
Yeah.
I don't have PlayStation,
Yeah.
so I haven't played it, but when it comes to PC, I will probably play it at some point.
It looks nice. I mean, I can't totally shit on it. It was the first big attempt at doing it. It just didn't hit the mark.
I want to play it because the bosses I've seen look cool.
They do look cool, but the bosses were so unimpressive to me.
Shut
I
up.
just
Shit.
I just gotta be honest. I played it. I'm just like, it was just unimpressive. I don't like Souls games in general. I'll put that out there for bias reasons.
Okay.
But
Is it kind of in that same category as Wukong, where it's not really a Souls-like? It's
It-
just Souls-ish.
it feels like God of War in terms of some of the combat, but it is more Souls than it is like, Devil May Cry.
Okay.
Yeah. That if you were expecting it to be Devil May Cry, you're gonna be greatly disappointed.
Yeah, I definitely did not get Devil May Cry vibes from it at all. I did get like Souls Light
Yeah.
type thing from it.
Yeah.
Same.
It's definitely Souls like it. Like I said, I have a lot of issues with it. I've been kind of making the Stellar Blade community incredibly mad at me on Twitter, so just take it, my opinion, with a grain of salt.
So, and Nerd Takes is saying Black Friday sales around the corner. A bunch of stuff is on sale on Steam right now, as it is.
Really?
Ooh,
But
Shouldn't look.
also
I'm gonna
says
check.
that Nerd Takes says he wants to play Astrobot, and he thinks that he'll stream the indie game. So cool. Go check out Nerd Takes channel. He's a good dude. Let's see here. Oh,
You
and
didn't-
he says that Stellar Blade was solid, nothing great, visually nice, decent gameplay. So,
That's fair.
yeah. And Casey, and still have played demo felt mid, but I'm curious to see the final game. Was hoping it'd be more hack and slash, too soulsy for me. Understandable. So, as for myself, yeah, Wukong was my number one, and Space Marine was my number two, and then one that I actually have and I haven't played yet, and I'm very much looking forward to play. I was very tempted to start this as my first Metroidvania Monday, but I put a poll out on Twitter, and it came back with Metroid, so I've been playing through Metroid games. But once I'm done with it, I may jump into this game, even if I haven't finished recovering my completion percentage yet, because I'm really looking forward to playing this. The one good Ubisoft game this year, and the studio got shut down, and that's Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. I'm very much looking forward to playing this. Everyone who's played it, all of my Metroidvania buddies, they're all like, it's great. So I can't wait to actually get into this one and start playing it, because I played the demo back on stream back in like February or March, and it was the like half hour I played of it was fantastic. So I am really looking forward to playing that.
Yeah, I hear good things about that one for sure.
And the last one is just a remake of one of my favorite games from when I was a kid, and that's the Dark Forces remaster. Came out this year, and I love Dark Forces. That's my favorite series of Star Wars games. So I'm looking forward to playing that once it goes on a big enough sale.
Oh, so you're ready for Star Wars Outlaws?
Yeah, he is.
I do have it, and I will be playing it, but I did not buy it. So
hopefully they fix it by the time you get around to it.
That's what I'm hoping. Is like I won't get to it for a long time, but maybe by the time I do, they'll have fixed it, and it'll be a better game than it is now.
Who bought it for you?
No one bought it for me. So it was on an episode of Top 5. It came up, and I was like, it's a Star Wars game, so I'll play it. And Jason's like, I got a code for it. You want it? And I'm like, sure, I'll take it. So
I was gonna say, you actually spent money on this? Wait, what?
No way. I
was gonna be confused for a second here.
I did have it on my wish list just to keep an eye on it for when it goes on sale. It's a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft games go on sale like a week after they come out. So I was gonna buy it eventually when it was like $10, but he's like, I got a code for it if you want it. And I'm like, sure, because I'm gonna play it at some point. I will be playing it, but it's not on my list of like games that I'm really looking forward to playing. But hopefully by the time I get around to it, it'll be in a little bit better shape. And dude says Warframe has jiggle physics on the dad bod frame.
Hell yeah. Finally, representation.
Yeah.
Oh, Forking Around is here. What's up, Forking Around?
Hey, Forking.
He says, wait, Outlaws was on someone's top 5? No, it was not on someone's top 5. It was just, we were talking about Outlaws. I think it was after we finished the stream and we were just talking backstage. Somehow Outlaws came up, and I had mentioned everyone's ragging on, and I was like, it's a Star Wars game, so I'll play it. But I'm not going to buy it until it's like super on sale. And Jason's like, I've got a code if you want it. I'm like, sure, I'll take it. So no, it was not in someone's top 5. Understandable. Felter says, I wouldn't even waste the download time on that trash heap. Understandable.
I know, but it looks so fun to play just because it's such a dumpster fire. Like you'll be crawling through the grass, and they'll be like, where'd they go?
The magic grass. That was great.
That sounds like a Ubisoft game right there.
Yeah.
So, and Nerd Take says, if I was to pick one, it'd be Wukong, and that would be my number 1 pick as well. So,
I'd like to add one more thing.
Okay.
The 17 JRPGs I did not get to this year.
What are some of them?
Ys Nordic came out this year. Brothership obviously was another one. I think the Etrin games, they came to Switch this year, so I got those as well. Yeah, there's a lot. That Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, I didn't play that at all. I played the demo, didn't get to do that. All the Ys games, basically. It's just, there's so many. I keep forgetting about it. It was like the year of JRPGs.
Out of all those JRPGs, if you had to pick one, which one would you want to play the most?
Oh, Yakuza Infinite Wealth.
Okay.
That's definitely the one I want to get to, but I got to get through Yakuza 5, 6, and 7.
However many infinite number of Yakuza games there are between the one you're on and the newest one.
I'm on 5, and I'm halfway through 5. Okay, give me a break here.
Well, I'm just saying, because there's so many Yakuza games, I don't even know how many there are. So how many are between 5 and Yakuza? I have no idea. The one Infinite Wealth that you're talking about, I have no idea.
So there's basically 7 main lines, and then Infinite Wealth is kind of like a spin-off, and then there's another one that's a spin-off called The Man Who Erased His Name, and then the pirate one that comes out next year.
Okay. I bet you Mark could probably tell you about it if he was still on, a co-host, because I know how much he loves the Yakuza games.
Well, I could. I don't even need them.
Well, I'm just saying he's probably played the one that you're talking about, Infinite Wealth, right? That's the newest one.
Yeah, that came out in January, so yeah.
So, and Timon is here as well, saying, "Hey, what's up, Timon? Good to see you, buddy." So, all right. Well, since we're on the topic, I think I'll go ahead and throw in the surprise. Actually, I came with 2 surprise questions. If you guys happen to have an answer to either of these, because I don't. Actually, we'll save one of those to later. If you have played games this year, this might only apply to Carl. What is your game of the year so far for 2024? I don't have one since I haven't played anything really that came out this year. But if you guys have an answer to your game of the year, I'm curious what your game of the year is.
I don't think I have one.
Yeah, I don't have one. Carl, this may apply to you. So if you had to pick a game from this year that you have played, what was your favorite?
So far, Unicorn Overlord is still my game of the year so far.
Okay. And
I've technically played
don't say Dustborn.
Dragon Age, Veilguard, and
Oh.
Dustborn.
That's top tier gaming right there.
And
Concord, right? The trifecta.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Shit, I didn't have time to play Concord. You had like a day to get in on that. But I've played those.
Not a great list.
Dustborn's not a video game. And
what would you consider it?
I can't even bring myself to get much further past the tutorial in Veilguard.
Yeah, that's not a great selection of games to pull from. So
no.
Carl, on Unicorn Overlord, I think you've told me a little about it before, but what kind of game is it?
It's a tactical squad-based JRPG with some light town building and character sim. It's kind of like a Fire Emblem clone, but a little bit different. It's more the combat is more in line with like an auto chess setup.
Okay.
So you build your squad, and then they get certain actions, and they can only do those certain actions. So it's really in depth about making the best 5-man roster that you can.
Okay, cool. That sounds right up Kay's alley. Kay, have you played Unicorn Overlord? And if so, did you like it? I'm curious if you're still.
She played the demo and was complaining about the voice actors, and so she didn't really play too much of it, I'm guessing.
That tracks. All right. Well, that I figured that'd probably be a short one since I figured Carl's like the only one who's actually played anything this year of noteworthy. So, all right. Well, next one on the docket here for tonight. Sorry if. So I was inspired by this one because Static was being on the channel. So sorry if this was typecasting you. So I apologize, but I was like, oh, this would be a fun topic. So, and that is, what games are best played drunk?
What the hell?
Can I preference this? Do I have to be drunk, or can I be in any impaired state?
Sure, that works.
There you go. Perfect.
I was thinking more so of like a drunk party game, but
if it's not drunk, if it's not drunk, you have to tell us what impaired state you're in.
Oh, I could tell you, man. I think I've shared plenty of them on here.
Okay.
Carlos, it sounds like you want to go first on this one.
I would say that some of the best games come out just from doing mushrooms, or have been some of my best experiences. My favorite one is still Resident Evil 5 co-op.
So I don't know much about like drugs at all, but mushrooms, is that a hallucinogenic type drug?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a game I've got on my Steam wish list right now because it is 50% off. And I saw someone mention something like this on Reddit about it. They're talking about like playing this game while high. And it's a very colorful game. It almost looks like you're playing a kaleidoscope, and that's Ultros. And it's because it's a Metroidvania, so it's on my wish list. And that sounds like this game would be really trippy to play while in that type of state.
You know what? I would say, like, if you're actually just like doing the devil's lettuce, as they say, a lot of like the rhythm and music games like Tetris Effect, Rez, Luminous, like they get like more intense, because you got that visual on the audio stuff, especially if you're wearing headphones. Like those are some really fun times. It'll do some panic attack in some people, so be careful.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start including like instead of like seizure warnings at the beginning, they'll be like, "Be careful when playing this game while high."
That second edible was shit. Don't do it.
Shit.
Okay, so we got some of the chats. Oh, Timon is saying for him, your game of the year between Yukon Overlord and Metaphor Refantasio.
Yeah, those
I
two
know
are great.
Carl's been loving Fantasio, but his suggestion is strip poker. Good suggestion.
That's how you get to know your friends biblically, as I've been told.
Kay is saying about Unicorn Overlord. I like Vanillaware, so I think I'll like it when I get it. All right. And Phil's saying, well, that's one question I wouldn't be able to answer. All right.
He is a glowy. He doesn't do drugs.
I do not either. So, but I have been under the influence of alcohol a couple times, not very many. But for me, let's see here. The thing that I first came to mind, and I'm sorry if I'm stealing anybody's answers because like I said,
If anyone steals my answer, I'll be impressed.
This is kind of the first thing that popped into my head, would be like a social drinking party game. It's like, what's better to play in a drunk state with your friends than Rock Band?
Yep, that's a good one.
So,
yes.
I've not actually played drunk Rock Band before, but it would have been fun to do that when I was in the Rock Band phase, and it was still something I played all the time.
For a while in my early 20s, we had Beer Pong Thursday. And whoever wasn't playing beer pong was playing Guitar Hero. And that was just what we did every Thursday for, I don't know, a year.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of ping pong, and I don't like beer, so I was never interested in beer pong. But I was hanging with some friends, like, "Oh, we're gonna go play some pong. You want to come?" I'm like, "Play ping pong? Heck yes!" So I got there and they're playing beer pong. I'm like, "Oh, I'm disappointed now, and I don't want to be here."
Oh, fighting games with your friends when you're all drunk. That's also fun.
I was gonna say, my other one on here is Drunk Smash Brothers. We did do that a few times. Okay. That was a lot of fun.
I've done that one too. So my favorite one is Fusion Frenzy.
Oh, that's a good answer.
A good one.
I've not played that drunk, but that is one of my favorite party games. I love that game.
Yeah, Fusion Frenzy. That was a regular. I've played all sorts of games under all sorts of different vices. I don't know.
Okay. All right, cool.
But Fusion Frenzy is the most memorable one.
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better that I was kind of on the right track.
Well, it's been a long time.
That's all right. So, Filter says, I don't drink or do drugs. I'm just fat. Kay's with me. Rock Band would be the ultimate drinking game to me. Exactly.
When I did drink and do drugs, I wasn't fat. Fractured might have a point.
See, I became fat because I was drinking and doing drugs. There's a difference.
That's conversations all over the place.
What about you, Ryan?
Well, I have two answers. If we're gonna talk about group games, and then of course solo.
Okay.
So one of my favorite games that a friend and I used to play, inebriated, would have been Black Ops 2, Nazi Zombies, Nazi Toten, of course, and it was man, it was such a blast to do that, because every time you went down, you had to drink, and we made it a game. And then, of course, unfortunately, later on, as somebody who is recognized that I've had a problem in the past, I used to find it a great time to go home after work, working for the post office, play Fallout New Vegas. I'd get a pint of vodka and a Monster, and I would literally drink it, and that's how I unwound from work and played Fallout New Vegas.
Doing the uppers and the downers at the same time.
Yeah, I was. It's unfortunately it's something still to this day that I'll mix a Monster with like a couple of shots if I do that, and Yeah, it started from my days in the military of drinking vodka and Red Bulls.
Yep.
That sounds about right. What mixes well with Monster, and what kind of Monster are we talking about here?
The white ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Zero Ultra. Yeah, the white can. Yep, those are my favorites to mix with these booze.
If you want,
That makes
go on.
sense because that's like a grapefruit thing. And the
Yeah,
grapefruit-
it also kills the taste because I'm not a big fan of the way liquor tastes. I
Okay.
hate it. I hate it.
if you want one of the best mixed drinks, Malibu and specifically the strawberry kiwi Arizona.
Okay,
Huh.
interesting combination.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said, and I was like, I can't believe this is as good as it turned out to be.
So-
Yeah, but I'm one of those dudes that like literally the way I used to do it was like when I'd be playing like Fallout New Vegas, I'd literally take like half a drink of the white monster and then I'd take a shot and then I'd chase it with that. Chase it with the monster, get like half a drink of the monster again. Yeah, it was kind of like encompassed it because I've never liked the way alcohol tastes. I hate it. Yeah.
I don't blame you. So how many studs have you punched in your life?
I mean,
Wait,
what?
Are we not like guys, but like boards, wood, right?
yeah. How many
okay,
hot
well-
dudes have you punched?
Yeah, Neo. He's talking about drunk Smash Bros. So I'm starting to think something different here.
I think I told the story on Party Chat one time, but I did punch my friend in the leg super hard one time because he was being the biggest asshole ever on Smash Bros. He was, oh my god, he's so
In the
deserved
leg
it.
once?
Yeah, just once.
You didn't have my kind of friends. We used to beat the shit out of each other.
But what I was gonna say is, if it took that much alcohol for you to get through New Vegas, which is considered by many to be the best Fallout, how did you not die of alcohol poisoning getting yourself through Fallout 76?
Oh no, there's stories for that too. No, it was just for fun. Playing Fallout and after work and having a few drinks used to be my vice. Then of course I found out that if you sit at home by yourself and drink alone, they consider you an alcoholic.
There's some things to that, I would say. Yeah, a
Is
little
it really
bit.
by yourself if you're playing video games? You have all those NPCs around you.
I think it still counts as you're by yourself.
Listen, it's like they knew, like Ryan's playing Fallout, and it's like, he's hammered. Gotta leave him alone for the night. My dad just played Bob Seger. That's how I knew he was half 3 sheets into the wind. All right. Once I heard Bob Seger come on, I was like, he's fucking done.
NK is saying that Playboy Energy with Jaeger was the best. I don't think I've ever heard of Playboy Energy drink.
Playboy has an energy drink. I mean,
That sounds like it's Canadian.
I know what a Jaeger bomb is, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's nasty. And no, I had no idea Playboy had an energy drink.
I didn't either, but yeah, I liked it.
But they put a little bit of some of the juice from the girls in there.
Let's stop.
It's Hugh Hefner's ashes.
Oh. One ash per drink.
New form of male vitality.
On Mass Effect Mondays, I started it on the second one, which was last month's stream, where I have added a tip amount at the bottom. You can challenge me to do certain things in the game. And Snapple Ryrai, who's tipped on a few, he's like, hey, you should do something like this for Dark Souls. And dude's like, well, you could do something like, drink every time you die. It's like, I don't want to die from alcohol poisoning.
You know what, though? I think you should do that.
But
It would be hilarious.
That is a good idea. Not during our Dude Soul streams, but I was like, maybe after I beat the story and I kind of have a handle on the game a little bit, I do like a Drunk Souls playthrough and do that until I as the farther into the stream, it gets worse and worse and I die more and more. And they're like, all right, I'm done.
Wait,
I just want to see you drunk in general. That'd be hilarious.
That's kind of why
I may entertain that idea. So you'll have to stay tuned for that.
Fork and Rat says Rat has made an excellent observation. I need this drink. Which one? Which one? The one with
Elaborate.
the one with the Playboy girls' juices.
Playboy juice.
Playboy juice.
Okay, says there's a store that imported it from the States. I've never even heard of it.
I've never
Oh.
heard of this either.
It's a California thing.
I'm a
Is it?
Californian. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, but you don't go outside.
That's
I mean,
true.
You're not wrong.
Melee K makes a point. She says this ain't Amaranth. She does have apparently her own beer made from her.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
that officially launched yet?
I was just going to say, I heard about
I don't
that, but
know-
I don't
I
know
don't
if
know
it
if it
actually
has.
Talking about
happened
that shit
yet.
forever.
I don't believe it.
I don't think that's gonna really be a thing. Well, that wouldn't pass the FDA.
It's
Depends
I
on
don't
which
know. There's a
country
lot
you
of weird
sell it
shit
in.
that gets past the FDA, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, but they're openly saying it though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this would be the first one though.
I don't want to talk
why
about
is it-
this.
Yeah.
Why would it even be a thing?
I really
All right,
don't.
next topic on the agenda.
I don't want to think of whore yeast, all right?
Yeast.
Just think about it from the business perspective.
I mean, I don't know what to say
Uh-oh.
about that. It's weird.
Uh-oh. Forkins already pre-ordered a case.
Wait, of which one?
The Amaranth beer, of course.
I don't know if that's what he's talking about because he was talking about something earlier that
Forkin.
In my head canon, he's talking about the Amaranth beer.
I think
You
he's
got-
talking about the Playboy energy drink because he
Well,
says
that
where
would be a
is it Melee?
pre-order because that's already out.
Unless it's a special flavor.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
I'm going to look this up right now because I'm curious.
So
Now-
you
now-
can still
now-
buy.
All right. Well,
Playboy
while you're
energy.
looking that up, we're gonna go on to our next topic, and you can enlighten us here in a
Yeah,
moment.
I have to look it up. I'm sorry, dude. My bad. I have to
So-
really.
I'm
look
looking
this
up the Playboy energy drink. You guys do
Yeah.
whatever you do.
That's what I was like. You have to let us know about that. So, next topic on the agenda for tonight.
Whoa, what the hell? There's an energy drink called Pussy Natural Energy.
Oh my god.
That reminds me of the energy drink from Tropic Thunder. Do you remember that?
No, what was it?
It was called Booty Sweat.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's
Oh
such a
my
great movie.
Terrible. This is
Oh
terrible.
my god, it's a thing. It's
So-
called Essence of Amaranth.
Oh no! So they're actually doing it.
It's a pale champagne wheat ale containing the wow.
Carl sent me the link. I will.
No, that's the other link.
Oh, that's
That's
the
the good
other one.
one.
Okay.
That's the good one.
21 beer or drink voucher with 22 United States dollars.
So you get
Steel.
12
get-
ounces.
You get 3 beers for 53 US dollars plus delivery.
Wow.
You know what? If I had no self-respect, I'd do it.
Morgan's just saying he was
No,
kidding.
right.
Though. I'd never get it. He's like, I'd never get an entire case, so you would get at least one then.
Well,
What
you
is
can
a
get
drink voucher? What
I
is
don't know.
this?
You can get 9 beers for 149 United States dollars plus delivery.
Fractions. Stop going down this road. Wouldn't save us. So like, I'm trying to shift the topic and they won't let me.
Starting the weekend pregame on Thursday. We'll be talking about this.
Oh
I have
yeah, go on
questions.
pregame for
You-
more of this discussion.
Well,
A new
Neil,
level of free gaming.
no offense, Neil. You invited me on and I was bad enough. Then you brought on Carl and now Static. Like, what are you doing?
You knew what you were signing up for.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at the beginning of the stream, I said this was the last one of the year, but this might just be the last party chat ever.
You can't stop after this.
No, but I am taking pretty much the majority of December off, so this will be the last one for the year.
Fair enough.
He's got to go buy Amaranth's beer.
He's gonna wait. In
I don't even like regular beer. I'm not going to go and buy Amaranth beer.
But it's
not
Amaranth
alcohol.
beer, so it's not regular beer. It's got a little special something.
essence.
Oh,
Moving on to the next topic. I'm putting the foot down.
Forkin says next stream top 5 gamer juices.
No, that will not be an episode of Top 5. I will tell
Let's
you
see.
that right now.
Amaranth. What's one another? I don't know. I don't know any of their names. So it's
Not a
That's the only
gamer.
one I've heard
You
of.
have to go with like, I don't know, freaking.
I don't either.
Cutie
That's-
pie.
Moving along.
Oh, good lord.
You can talk about that on pregame. All right, so next topic on the agenda for tonight is we're talking about which one are we going with? Okay. What is your favorite first game in a franchise? So I didn't specify this, but that does mean the game has to have, or the franchise has to have at least 2 games in it. I hope that was implied.
This one's
But,
easy.
what is your favorite game that is the first one in its series? So,
Ooh, that's tough.
yeah. So, like some of my favorites, like Mass Effect's my favorite franchise, but I love Mass Effect 1, but it's not my favorite. Same with like I love Halo, but Halo 3 is my favorite of the Halos, so it can't be Halo. So, what is your favorite first game in a franchise?
Mine is Halo.
Ooh, nice.
So
So, did
Halo
you?
2 pissed me off, and I never got around to Halo 3.
Oh, Halo 3 is my favorite of all the Halos, but for the first 3 for me, it's Halo 3, Halo 1, then Halo 2. Halo 2 is my least favorite of the original 3.
It's probably a good thing they didn't keep track of hours back then, but I have no idea how many hours I have on Halo 1. It's
You
ridiculous.
saw that too, right?
What are you guys laughing about?
Jesus. Okay, I just got here. Were you talking about beer made with pussy juice?
JB, what's up, JB? We
Hey,
moved on
baby.
from that topic, so if you want to hear that discussion, you'll have to rewind or catch it
We
after the
didn't.
stream. But yes, we were talking about Amaranth. And Christian is here as well. Good evening, Christian Frades. Good to see you, buddy. So Halo. Static was talking about Halo, and he played a lot of Halo. I played a ton of Halo 1, a decent amount of Halo 2, but I played a lot of Halo 1 back in the day as well. So did you play? I'm assuming you played them back when they were new-ish as well.
Yeah, I played it on the OG Xbox, like LAN parties, the whole thing. Like that was so before Beer Pong Thursdays, it was like Halo Fridays, right? Like everyone would come over with their Xboxes and bring a TV or two, and we would just drink beer and Jack in the Box tacos and play Halo. all night.
Jack and
Oh, that sounds good right now.
Yeah, it does.
I'm not big on tacos, but I am hungry.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I like I like burritos. I'm not big on tacos.
I can
Soft
agree,
shell.
but Jack in the Box tacos is
Okay.
another level.
Jack in the Box tacos are so good that, quite frankly, they're like dog food.
Yeah, it
That's
really.
possible.
That's worse than the vagina beer.
You know, I'm gonna say this right now. This might shock you, but Burger King tacos surprisingly are not bad.
Burger King has
That's a
tacos.
thing?
Yeah, I don't know if they still do.
They did. They were mirrored off of Jack in the Box.
Huh.
Those were the closest things in where I live in Colorado for the longest time, because you'd have the only Jack in the Box was across in Denver.
Yeah, we don't have Jack in the Box here in Illinois.
I've never even had Jack in the Box tacos, but my mom used to eat them like literally every day for lunch for years. She like loved them. So
Yeah. And when you were
Dude.
21, 99 cents for 2 of them was a steal.
yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
All the time. Yes.
I'd get 6 tacos and a medium drink, and I'd just smash.
You know who had like the best taco was Long John Silver's. If you guys ever had that,
John Silver's
I
had
got one
tacos
done
as
too.
well.
I know
they had a
that.
fish taco and it was the bomb.
So the Long John Silver's by my house is actually
Do you still have
the
one?
same bill. Yeah, it's actually a
Oh,
Taco
lucky.
Bell / Long John Silver.
Oh,
you're
it's
so
fine.
lucky.
Yeah, I don't think we used to have 1 or 2 of them around here, and they're all gone. I'm pretty sure.
They have the best coleslaw.
I can agree.
Yeah. Regarding the last topic, dude is saying that this feels like a side scrollers episode of Savvy Kirsha and oh no, it's Alex all on at the same time. That's quite accurate. So, and Timon is saying that favorite first game of the franchise, Final Fantasy Tactics. I wouldn't think that that's the first one in the Final Fantasy game, but since there's so many Final Fantasies, I assume the first one would be Final Fantasy. But I don't know much about Final Fantasy, so someone
I think it's like a spinoff.
And Fork Around is saying Smash Bros. So yeah, that absolutely counts. That's the first of the Smash Bros. Games. Not my favorite of the Smash Bros. Games, but it was a fun game. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And Fork is saying, does Ocarina of Time count? No, it does not, because the only one that would count for Zelda would be the original Zelda on NES.
Ryan, do you have one for this one?
I actually do. My personal. Well, okay, I have two. I want to go with Dragon Age Origins first, though, because
Oh,
That's a
Dragon Age
good one.
I had a
Veilguard
feeling someone
came
was going
out,
to say that.
and Veilguard. Apparently, the first 10 hours is really good. I know somebody that played the first 10 hours, and then after that, it's like they took a giant crap in their hand. But if the one before that would definitely
yeah.
be hello would be Knights of the Old Republic, but it's such a common answer for me to say I wanted to pick something else different too.
Okay.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, come on. It's like, is it really stunning and brave to say Dragon Age Origins is everyone's favorite one? No, not really.
Yeah, no, I mean, but my go-to is always Knights of the Old Republic because I literally bought my original Xbox for that, working at Taco Bell for $5.35 an hour. Yes, that's how old I am, and that's how I bought my Xbox, and I bought it for Knights of the Old Republic. So, but Dragon Age Origins was absolutely incredible. I used to love old BioWare.
Yep.
I know you were a big fan of the classic Fallouts. How was the original Fallout? Did you like
The
that
original
one?
the original Fallout is very good. Is it as good as is it the best one? No,
Okay.
it's not. Fallout
Original
2,
Fallout's like top down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isometric.
Yeah.
yeah, Fallout the Fallout 2 is better than the original Fallout, if you want my honest opinion. But Bethesda took it to a whole new level with Fallout Fallout 3, and of course Obsidian, in my opinion, took it to the height of, but yeah, so they're still a lot of fun to play. You should play them on Steam.
Games are still fun.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the best way to say it. Games are still
Fractured,
fun.
you left too soon. We're talking about some old games now.
He'll come back. Glowy's always come back.
So, what about you, Static? What is your favorite? Oh, no, you already said Halo.
Yep. Halo.
And Ryan's was KOTOR and Dragon Age.
Origins.
Carl, did you answer on that one?
I have not, and I think the two I'm gonna go with. One of them, one of my favorite GameCube games, Beautiful Joe.
Okay, I've heard great things about that one. That was who did that one?
Capcom.
Well, they published. Did they also develop it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was what's his name who did the Platinum games and left.
Yeah.
I think it was Clover Studios.
Oh yeah, what's his freaking name? I just blanked on his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. I was like, I thought it was that Platinum guy. I just blanked.
Yeah,
I see. Fractured is still here. He says Glowies never leave.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure one of my favorite games. I want a modern port of it. Love those games to death. They're super tough and they're super fun.
Hideki Kamiya?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's for sure my favorite first game of a series because I've never actually played number 2. I have it, but I've never played it.
Oh, so it's an asterisk because you haven't actually played the rest of them. Was it just 2? Because it was just 2, right? Because everyone's like, I want a Beautiful Joe 3, but it never happened.
It was 2 main lines and a couple spin-offs. There was one for the DS as well.
Oh, okay. So there was more than one. Okay. So for me, it was between the game that I mention all the time that I absolutely love, and this is actually an answer to a later question that I spontaneously came up with during the stream because I didn't think about it, and that is Subnautica. It has Below Zero is the sequel, sorta, but they're calling the next one that's coming out next year Subnautica 2. I don't know why they're not calling it 3 because we had Below Zero and it was its own standalone game. But I like Below Zero, but the original Subnautica is better, and I've beaten it like twice as many times as I've beaten, if not more, than Below Zero. It's just such a great game. I love that game. And then my other answer, and would be my number one pick, and I mention this one all the time as well, and that is Ninja Gaiden Black. I know it's not the first in the Ninja Gaiden game since there was the original ones on NES, but those are essentially like 2 different ones because they're drastically different from each other. But Ninja Gaiden Black was the beginning of the reboot on Xbox, and that is easily in like my top 5 games of all time. That's such a good game. So... Filter saying that Deus Ex 1 is a GOAT. I I had a friend in high school who was like obsessed with that game, and he burned me a copy. And I never played through the entirety of it, but I did play the beginning of it. And I was like, I actually booted it up not that long ago, a couple months ago, and I was like, this game looks amazing for how old it is. But I never played it in its entirety, but I've heard it is really good.
I got one other to add to the list. Left 4 Dead, the original one.
Oh, the original Left 4 Dead. Okay. But he's also saying F Subnautica. He's probably, I'm assuming he's meaning that because of the devs. F the devs for sure, but the game itself, nah, it's a fantastic game. And Steve is here saying nerds. What's up, Steve? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. And JV saying, when GameCube was new, I was at Game Crazy and demo unit fell over 4 feet on the concrete floor. Game kept running. One in the store said, that's the one I want. Yeah. And those products are notorious for being, long lasting and can take a beating.
Yep. GameCube is the best home defense console you'll ever need.
It'd be great, was it Dead Rising, where you can like build your own weapons? It'd be great to put 2 GameCubes at the end of a stick and just use it as like a staff with GameCubes on it.
I saw somebody in Armor Core 6 made one of their mechs into a GameCube mech, and it like made me die laughing.
That's great. Oh, Nerd Takes has got a good one. The original Splinter Cell is great, but it wouldn't be mine because Chaos Theory is the best Splinter Cell, but I do love the Splinter Cell franchise. So, and Filters all say Max Payne 1 was great. I never played the Max Payne games. I always wanted to.
Max Payne is excellent. Yes.
They're remaking it too. I can't wait.
No, their game can burn too, and they pull that, burn it all down. Now, Subnautica the game is a fantastic game, even if this studio is dog crap. So, but all right. Let's see here. 11. So next one up here is your favorite level of a game from your childhood. So I'll go ahead and start off because this one was inspired. The first thing that came to my mind and kind of inspired the question was one of my favorite games from my childhood was GoldenEye and the facility level where, you're going in through the bathroom and infiltrating the dam, and you meet up with 006 and blow up the gas tanks. And I don't know how many, seemingly millions of times I played that level. But that was kind of the inspiration for the question. I have quite a few answers for this one, but that was kind of what inspired the question. So curious from you guys what your favorite levels were from your childhood, from whatever games that you played back in the day.
Goodness gracious. Probably a lot. I don't know if I could really narrow it down. GoldenEye 007, the facility was one of my favorites. The silo was really one of my favorites because you could basically explode. You could basically cause the whole facility to explode, and it just like if you had invincibility on, the fire just followed you around. So it was like
that's right.
So like it would just wherever you walked, it followed you. So that's a really good one.
Really Old Movies is here. Hello, really old movies. Good to see you. Welcome.
Yeah.
I remember I lent my copy of GoldenEye to a friend, and I don't know if he was like crazy good at it, but when he gave it back, I had like a bunch of new stuff unlocked, some cheats, because you had to unlock the cheats by beating certain levels on certain difficulties under certain time limits. And I didn't have them yet, and he gave it back to me, and I had all these new cheats unlocked. I was like, thank you. So I remember messing around with stuff like that, and it was like the explosion from the rocket was like constantly going off, but you couldn't die.
Yeah, no, I used the Game Shark back when that was a thing.
I still have my Game Shark.
I probably do somewhere. I just don't know where.
Oh, Filter saying that you had to replay Facility to earn invincibility, and man, my brother scored that because he had to beat it in like a minute or so. It's crazy. Yeah, some of them were like on the hardest difficulty and under like crazy time limits. Like, how is that even possible? So your favorite level from GoldenEye was not the ones where you escort Natalia?
No. No. I don't have time.
It took him a second. He's like, no. Heck no.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, she's so dumb. Like just walking into the middle of the line of fire, getting herself killed.
Yes.
I often see those clips on like some of the like worst parts of the best games is like the Natalia escort missions. She's always getting herself killed.
Yeah, it's so obnoxious. There were some. I've never really cared for escort missions, period, in video games. Like
Most
I
people
hate them,
don't.
and it's just one of those things. It's like, all right, what are you doing?
Oh, and brings up a great point that I've mentioned this like twice in the last week, but it's talking about indestructibility. In Black Belt's GameCube survived getting struck by lightning, as well as in Black Belt, he survived getting struck by lightning while he was playing his GameCube. So, shout out to Imp. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I hope he's doing well. So, Timo is saying that his favorite childhood game was Thousand Arms. I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it.
It's a JRPG.
Ah, that's probably why. And Steve is saying Diablo 2. I know a lot of people love that, but what's your favorite level from Diablo 2? Was it the cow level?
That doesn't count.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that was like a bonus level. I don't know a whole lot about Diablo other than what I've heard on like top 5 lists and top 10 stuff. But I know that it was, everyone loved it back in the day. So, Static, do you have a favorite childhood video game level?
So this one's a little difficult.
Yeah.
I only had
questions like this, or why I give like more than a day when I send out the topics for a day ahead of time, so you have some time to like really ruminate on some of the top questions in order to come up with answers.
So I really didn't play video games from the age of 7 to what was it? Probably, well, no, it was probably the age of 10 till I was about 18.
Okay.
So my childhood would have been the regular Nintendo, and I don't have many levels that I was like extremely fond of, just a bunch of levels that I hated.
That could be another topic.
Because I also
that's actually a good idea for a topic. I'm gonna write that down.
I also spent a lot of time playing like sports games, which were ridiculous back then because like on the Game Boy, I had Madden 95 or 96 or something. And I was, you just needed that one play and you'd win every time. And then I had the Bulls versus the Blazers on the Nintendo, and I just knew right where to put my guy, drive him right down the lane, and it's just automatic layup or dunk. So I don't really have a favorite level.
All right. So since you played a lot of sports games, what was your favorite sports game, and what was your go-to team?
Oh, it was the Chicago Bulls and Bulls versus the Blazers.
In which game? Like NBA
that was the
Jam?
name of the game. It was the Chicago Bulls versus the Portland Trail Blazers.
That's the name of the game? It's
like because they were the team in the finals the year before. Yeah.
Can you only play as those two teams?
No. You can play as a bunch of them.
Okay. I've never even heard of this game.
Actually, Jordan versus Bird versus Magic was really good too.
Is that another basketball game?
Yeah, so that's where you can either be Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, or Magic Johnson.
And these two games that you just mentioned, what platforms were they on?
Regular Nintendo.
They were on original NES?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably why NES was slightly before me. I played it at a friend's house, but I didn't. My first was a Super Nintendo, so. Okay. What is your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Basketball. All right.
Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
And dude is saying that if Ninja Gaiden Black counts, then so does Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay. He knows his Final Fantasy, so I would take his word for it. And he's saying Looney Tunes B-Ball for the Super Nintendo is the best basketball game. I'm not big on sports games, but I would say NBA Jam would be the one that I'd most want to play.
I played
not into sports games, at least not the simulation ones. I like the arcade ones more.
NBA Jam got more of my money than Street Fighter was a close second, but yeah, NBA Jam was definitely the big one.
I just think of NBA Ballers. Did you ever play that one?
Ballers was good too. Yep.
I just have that really bad theme song stuck in my head still to this very day.
I wish they'd bring back some of those arcade. Well, they're trying to, but I just can't buy a game with LeBron James in it right now.
I don't blame you. I just hate looking at him.
JB saying you and your kids and your favorite games. I was 10 when Pong came out. Yeah, he's got us by some years, but it's always good to see JB hanging around with us young guns, as I was saying on Mass Effect Monday last night.
Young guns.
Yeah.
Where?
Compared to JB, he's got us by probably a generation.
I'm still the youngest one on here.
Yes, that is true. And he's saying his favorite childhood game was I missed it. It was lawn darts. favorite childhood game.
How many friends did you kill with long darts there, JB?
When they had the metal tips.
Back in the good old days.
That's
Yeah.
that would have
Those are
been.
boom shakalaka. Yep, NBA Street. And Steve saying his favorite childhood game was watching Static play Mario Bros.
Yep, because he was a little kid and he sucked.
So, all right. All right. Well, Carl, what about you? What's your favorite childhood video game level?
My favorite level, I think, was the Silent Cartographer on Halo.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just have a lot of good memories of the Halo maps in general. Like, I didn't hate the library as much as everyone does, even though I can understand why it was frustrating for so many people.
Yeah, when Dude and I played on Sunday, we beat the library, and that's where we ended. So played through Silent Cartographer again. Yeah, that's a great level. And yeah, I don't hate the library like a lot of other people do. Not my favorite level, but yeah, Silent Cartographer is a great level, and they shrunk it down and made it its own multiplayer map on the PC version, and then it later made its way into the Master Chief Collection called Death Island.
Yeah, I think besides that, I forgot the level for Halo 3 that was kind of like it, except it was the more chaotic touchdown when you first align with the brutes and you have to take down the towers. I forget what that level's called.
Was the first one where you're on the Ark?
No, well, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, where you have to go to the 3 different towers. That's the I think that is that on the Ark, or is that before you get on the Ark?
I think that's on the Ark.
Okay. Yeah, I know which level you're talking about. That's the one where the flood get introduced on Halo 3.
Yeah, I like that level too from my childhood.
Okay.
Both Halo, both kind of like the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, JB's saying I've got 3 grandkids that are old enough to buy booze. So yeah. Some of my other tops, let's see here. So Facility from GoldenEye was the one that kind of popped into my head first. But I had to mention Ocarina of Time because that's one of my favorite games from my childhood. But probably my favorite one from that was the Spirit Temple. I thought was really cool because it's the only one where you have to you go through it both as a child and as an adult, where all the other ones are either as a child or an adult. This one, you have to do it as both. And I thought that was really cool. I wish there was more of that in the game. The only thing else that kind of does that is kind of the well, because you kind of got to go through that quest in order to get the Song of Storms. But the Spirit Temple and Ocarina of Time was great. A couple other really cool levels from some of my favorite games were N64 games was on Perfect Dark. There was a level where it's basically the video game personification of the movie Air Force One, where you're on Air Force One and you have to protect the president. And I was like, this is so cool. It's basically like playing the movie of Air Force One. And then another one that's also basically movie inspired was in Star Fox 64. There was a level where you're having to protect this pyramid. You end up failing, or I don't remember if failing is what's supposed to happen. But it's basically a video game personification of Independence Day, because there's these big circle ships and they have giant lasers that come out of the bottom and they'll blow up the pyramid thing that you're trying to protect. And that was a really cool level.
In Star Fox?
In Star Fox 64.
Yeah, I love that level too.
Because up until that point, I believe that was the first time in Star Fox that, because all the other levels, even in the previous Star Fox, were all like, just like on rail shooters. I think this was the first time it opened up into a 360 area where you can fly and kind of go wherever you wanted. And that was a really cool thing. It's like, oh my God, I can actually fly around and go where I want. I'm not just like on an on rail shooting. So, and you fight, I think you also fought, I don't know if it was before or after, but I do remember that you also fought Starwolf on that level as well. So those are a couple of my favorite levels from my childhood. I did play, like I said, Super Nintendo was my first console, but I can't really think of anything of levels that I played a lot of that I really loved on Super Nintendo. So a lot more of my childhood memories were from N64. So Dude is saying you ally with the elites, you never ally with the brutes. That's right. Thank you for that correction, Dude. Yeah, because you're always at arms with the brutes.
Did I say that or did you say that?
I think you did.
Did I say the brutes? I said the elites.
Okay. I thought you said brutes, but it didn't connect with me until Dude pointed it out. But you think you were probably meant elites in your head, but brutes come out. I do that. Well, I'd say one thing.
Oh, maybe I don't think I did on this one. But
we'll have to go back and check the tape. So,
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. All right. So did we already get through 1, 2, 3, 4? Yep, this is 5 already. So, all right. Well, the next one up here. Sorry, this one. Sorry, Static, if you don't have an answer for this one, because that you responded back with, I don't have an answer for that one. But we always fit. The last one we typically do is our favorite game from the next year. And last episode we did 1997. So this year's 1998. What's everyone's favorite game from 1998? So Static, because he's like, I didn't play games then. I was like, well, it didn't.
You know what?
You didn't have to play it in 98. You could have played it last year for the first time.
I have a game from
yes.
1990.
All right, Static. What have you played from 1998?
Is Kay here?
We shall see. She might be lurking.
Maybe.
I hope Kay's here so she can hear this. It is the best Zelda game ever.
Ocarina of
The
Time.
Ocarina
absolutely.
of Time.
Yes, that is my number one answer as well. Is the best Zelda game. My favorite game from 1998. I do have a couple others that I want to mention, but excellent choice. So, did you play it back then or more recently, or what's your background on Ocarina of Time?
I played it early 2000s.
Okay.
My friend had a 64, and so I was over at their house and I just played the whole thing.
Hey, Kay is still here.
But yeah, I played it through the whole thing, and then every so often I will, check back in on it in ways that Nintendo does not approve of.
Yeah, I got the itch to play it a few weeks ago because, like I said, it's my favorite Zelda. Very closely followed by, or not followed by, but my number 2 is Twilight Princess. It's very close to Ocarina of Time. But I got the itch to play because I haven't played it in probably a decade. So I booted it up and played through a little bit of it just to kind of scratch that itch. I'm very much looking forward to going back and playing through it again in its entirety for retro achievements at some point. So I was not a huge fan of it when I first played it because that was my first introduction to Zelda, was going over to my friend's house and he had Ocarina of Time. I didn't really care for it. But then shortly
that popped my Zelda cherry too. I couldn't put it down. So my buddy had the Xbox in his room, but his little brother had the 64 in his room. And so I annoyed the living hell out of his little brother just playing it all the time. He couldn't do nothing about it. He was tiny.
Nice. But yeah, I didn't care for it when I played it for the first time, just for a little bit over my friend's house. And then I got Link's Awakening for my Game Boy Color, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I like this one. Maybe I'll give this other Zelda game another try. And then I ended up getting it on N64, and I fell in love with it. And it's one of my favorite, if not my the Ocarina of Time and Perfect Dark are my favorite N64 games. They're
Perfect Dark. Yeah, spent a lot of time playing that one.
So, and yes, let's see here. I kind of skipped on it. Someone mentioned it. Who was it? Where was it? Oh, it was JB. He's saying, if I recall correctly, you needed the RAM expansion for the N64 for Perfect Dark. So there were some games that absolutely required it to play it. I think Donkey Kong 64 was one of them, and I think that's why I believe it came packaged in with Donkey Kong 64. Perfect Dark, however, you could play it without the expansion pack, but you were limited on what you could do. In order to have the full features of the game available, you did have to have the expansion pack. I forget whether it was the multiplayer that was locked off or the single player that was locked off if you didn't have it, but you were limited on what you could do if you didn't have it. So, but yeah, excellent. Good choice. Static. Yep. Ocarina of Time is the first thing I wrote down here. Because that is one of the best games ever. I believe it was the first game that ever got inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame.
There's a Hall of Fame for that?
I believe so. I have to double check. But JB is saying that his favorite game in 98 is the 98 edition of Raroff. I like that one too. So that's a jab at Kay because she hates Raroff. And I believe the next episode of Raroff is coming up here soon. So if you want to watch Kay suffer through Raroff, that's coming up soon. So, Carl, did you play any games from 98?
Yes, and there's one that was on this list that I will stick to this time because I actually was young enough to remember playing a lot of it. Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Okay. Is that the original or
third one?
The third one. Okay.
Yeah, I just remember playing that a lot as a kid. Like religiously, I was like super obsessed with this game, and I don't know why. I guess it was because it was the only game that came with my Christmas gift that year from the very nice lady my mom worked for.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, I just remember like Dingo Dial and all those characters of just like the different time periods and stuff like that. It was super fun.
Yeah, I never had a PlayStation, so I didn't play any Crash. I mean, I played it at a demo station, like at a Blockbuster back in the day. But my first like actual experience with Crash was through the Insane trilogy, which I still need to get back to because I've only barely touched the surface. But I was kind of jaded, I guess, on it because, but I have more hope for it because apparently Crash 1 is by far the hardest, and 2 and 3 are much easier. And I was like banging my head against the wall on Crash 1, and people are like, maybe you should try Crash 2 and 3 because they're a bit easier. It's like, oh, okay. I haven't played almost any of 2 or 3 yet, but I am planning on going back and playing through all 3 of them. So, and yeah, really old movie saying, dang, I'm a youngster. I was born in 98. So yeah, there's games that from the year I was born that I played. Obviously, I didn't play them when I was born, but I did play them later on. So curious from you guys what your favorite games from 98 are. Ryan, what about you? What is your favorite or some of your favorites from 98?
The biggest one that I'd really have to name is because it's the one that I love to play. I got in trouble for playing, and it ultimately, as a kid, got banned from the house because yeah, it was StarCraft and StarCraft Brood War, the expansion.
You just mentioned that recently. Was that on top 5 last week? Because I remember you talking about that recently.
It might have been. I think I've mentioned it at least probably twice. Yeah, it got banned from the house that I grew up in because, quite frankly, it was a game that you could play online, but you had to use dial-up.
Yep.
It was, yeah, it was modem play, and so whenever anybody would call, it would disconnect. And at that time, as a kid, I would only get an hour to play a video game a night. So if somebody called, my friend and I would be playing, it would disconnect. And
if someone called, it would disconnect your game?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
You don't? Oh, you never had
No,
dial-up?
I had dial-up,
Oh.
but if you tried calling when we were using the internet, the person who was calling would just get a busy signal.
But if you picked up the phone in the house that you were, if you're on the internet and your mom picked up the phone, it would disconnect and you'd have to start all over.
Oh, I never played any games online back then. I just used it for internet browsing, so I never ran into that.
Well, I had one friend that I tried to play with, and he's the one who introduced me to it, and it was the first time I ever actually played it at his house. I actually, back when we used to spend the night at friends' houses, right, in like middle school shit. I stayed up till like 6 in the morning playing the game. I think he went to bed at like 2:30 or something, and I just kept playing because I was having so much fun. And then like it was a Sunday the next day, and we were going to lunch with the family, and I fell asleep in the back of the car, and I was like drooling on my jacket. I was so out of it, and that's kind of like where the hatred my parents got for that game started. And then so every time like somebody would pick up the phone, it would disconnect. That counted against my hour. They didn't care that it disconnected. They're like, well, you're playing the game, and I'm like, well, no, I'm really not. And there was one time.
It's like, just pause your game. I'm online. Well, just pause it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that then. I think I was in 6th grade. I think I can't remember. And I got so pissed off one time that I actually slammed my head on the desk. It's a metal desk. I'm not joking. I dropped my head so hard that it slammed. And that's when my dad was like, "That's it." He's like, "Give me the game. It's gone forever." And I was like, "Dad, it's not my game." And he's like, "Oh, then give it back to whoever it is, because if I see it in this house again, I'll snap the disc in half." It's not a joke.
No, I believe it. I was gonna say, it was. I guess it was on disc. I was thinking for some reason it was on floppy, but yeah, it would be too new for floppies.
That's funny.
Do you guys have any floppy disk games? I had a few. I don't remember what they were, but I remember I had a couple.
I'm too young.
Castlevania, man.
Yeah, Castlevania on floppy.
Uh-huh.
Was it 3.5 or was it 5-inch?
3.5, 5-inch
Oh, that's real old school
on
floppy.
an Apple II.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm too young for
I
that.
had 3.5-inch floppy games.
We didn't get our first computer until I think 98.
Okay. Yeah, my first was a Windows 3.1. We had a couple of edutainment floppy games. I don't remember what they were called, but I had fun with them.
No,
What was that, Carl?
I had discs. The first disc computer game I played was Diablo 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think my first disc game, I don't know. That's a good question. I have to think about that.
Lodestar.
Fracture saying, dude, that always sucked. Was so glad when we got away from dial-up when it was available. Yeah, I was trying to convince my mom to like get a second phone line or something, because I didn't use it for online gaming, but I did use a lot of LimeWire for music back in the day.
Oh, LimeWire.
The best thing ever.
So I was trying to convince my mom to get like a second phone line, or then DSL became a thing and you didn't have to type your phone line. And I was like, what do I need to do? I'll do chores, like I'll do whatever. Just can we upgrade to DSL? But we ended up upgrading eventually anyway. So
LimeWire.
Definitely a good day.
Computer viruses in such a small place.
I didn't care. It was still fun.
Yeah, I know. I probably killed a lot of computers over LimeWire.
JB says my CD drive shattered my Samurai Showdown 2 CD. Ah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that.
I remember using LimeWire when I was in the military to download episodes of the X-Files that I had missed.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, because the X-Files actually it ended roughly around right before I joined the military, and I didn't get a chance to like finish it or something like that or something. Or I just wanted to go back and like find old episodes, so I'd literally like go on the X-Files season 07 basically it's like try to type it out and download them because you used to be able to find them.
Yeah.
Finding one episode in the library of a large show with lots of seasons is like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
You get the wrong episode, or you'd get the Bill Clinton file saying, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Or you get something else that you didn't want to download.
Yeah, especially when you're going for the X-Files.
You're like, whoa, that's not what I was looking for.
They let you do this in the military? That does seem like a good move there.
Well, it was stationed in Germany, so I mean, it was a German internet provider.
Oh, so you're getting like the good German stuff.
It got interesting. I'll just say that sometimes when you tried to download stuff, there was one time I downloaded something that I thought was a television show, and I went, "Oh, that's not," and I deleted it immediately because it was probably borderline illegal.
Was it like one of those German movies that Cartman's mom was in?
I don't know.
She's a good German girl. You shit on her.
Let's just say that it wasn't for upstanding people. And you're like, this is not the episode I'm looking for.
Kay is saying that LimeWire and Kazaa were wild times. Yes, I used both of them a lot to download tons of music back in the day.
If I couldn't find it on LimeWire, I tried Kazaa.
Yep, because fuck you, Metallica.
Yeah, pretty much. Took down Napster. Eat a dick, pieces of shit.
So, as for myself, as I mentioned, Ocarina of Time is my number one, but a couple other of my favorite games that I absolutely love from 1998 that is also when the original Half-Life came out.
Yep.
And my other one, and I just mentioned this on a stream within the last week because it is, this was before we had achievements because it was on N64. And I'm planning on playing it again for retro achievements. I don't know if I'm going to go and complete it again, but I did complete it 100% back in the day, and I've still got my copy somewhere. And that is the first Rogue Squadron game. Getting gold medals on every single mission on that was brutal, but I did get all the gold medals, and I was very proud of that. But that was a great game. The sequel to that, Rogue Leader, is a even better game, but I did love Rogue Squadron a lot. So those are my favorites from 1998. And Dude is mentioning that Ocarina of Time is just a 3D copy of A Link to the Past. but at least it has a sexy fish waifu. Princess Ruto, I believe, is who he's referring to, who you get engaged to as a kid, and then you show up as an adult, and she's like, "We're getting married, right?" And you're like, "No, I just needed your jewel."
I never played the Zelda game.
You never played any Zelda game?
I just need your jewel.
Yep, never.
Oh wow. Okay.
I started with the original with the gold cartridge.
Nice. So, all right. Well, now that we are towards the end, the other topic that I thought of while we were on stream tonight is like, I'll go ahead and throw it in there because it doesn't really need any prep time. And that is, are there any games? Well, since this is the last one for the year, I was like, you know what, we should do something a little end of the year ish. So, are there any games that you are anticipating that you're looking forward to that are coming out next year?
This was a topic that I was going to give to you, but I completely spaced it.
Oh, well, good that I thought of it. So, because normally I would do that like on the last one of the year, but since this one is the last one of the year, it's like, you know what, we should probably throw something in there, and we're a little bit ahead of schedule. So, are there any games that are coming out in 2025 that you guys are looking forward to? So, Static, since you were going to.
Well, okay, no. I had
a
a purpose for wanting to ask this question.
Okay.
And the silence was noticeable, how no one immediately had an answer.
Oh, I've got one.
I got 17. I just
Oh my
like
goodness.
I wanted to go last.
Okay, yes, your JRPGs.
Well, most of them aren't
What's yours,
JRPGs.
Neo?
My number one, I slightly alluded to it a few minutes ago, is Subnautica 2, because I am such a huge fan of Subnautica 1, and it is coming to Game Pass day one. And I will play that day one because I love Subnautica so much. So
Okay.
that is the first thing that came to mind. I'm sure there's probably some other stuff. If Wukong comes to Xbox, then that would be on there, but we still don't have an Xbox release date for Wukong. But those are the two that I'm most anticipating.
You know what? I might have one.
So, since Carl has a lot, we'll have him go last. Ryan, do you got anything that you're looking forward to in 2025?
I honestly don't. I couldn't name a single game that's coming out in 2025 that really intrigues me. You know, yeah, I don't. I have no idea. I have a backlog of games that I want to play, and
Same
now
here.
that I've started to kind of like maybe kind of tiptoe into playing games again.
Oh, I forgot Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh yeah, Google doesn't even list that one.
That's funny. I am looking forward to Avowed as well. I don't know if I'll even be playing it next year, but I am looking forward to that one.
I'll just be controversial and say Ghost of Yotai.
I don't think that's really controversial.
Well, because the game developers are already like having a shit fit, which makes me think that they fucked the game up.
Well, they're from Washington, so they would always have a hissy fit anyway.
Yeah, well, it just makes me think that they probably fucked the game up.
It could be a good game if they can keep their mouths shut, with the development of the in-game stuff.
No one's excited for Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra.
I didn't even know that game was coming out next year.
I know about it, but I didn't know if it had a release date yet.
Yeah, I knew it was coming out, but I was like, I
totally forgot about this. Another one that's top of the list, Doom Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Definitely
So
looking forward to that one.
I have two, but the second one's kind of like it's like looking forward to Dustborn.
Oh, you're looking forward to hate playing something.
Yes and no. So that South of Midnight game comes out next year.
That
That's
looks
right.
good.
It looks really freaking good.
It does.
I hate the animation style. Supposedly, you can turn off the stop motion animation,
But I like that.
in the
I think
gameplay.
it looks
It's
super cool.
I like
hate
that a lot.
I hate that. They've been doing that in more movies lately, like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movies, and they did it in the most recent Puss in Boots movie. I hate that like 10 frames a second look. I despise that.
I just like the claymation, like
Yeah, I like
Coraline and
those
stuff like that. I
styles.
love that stuff, man.
I think it looks really cool. I think the story is going to be obnoxious.
well, that's always a good time. It's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah,
It really all depends. Like I watched that whole like 40-minute thing about it, and I will say that I'm more optimistic about it. I just I always have that same concern as probably everyone else. It's like, is this going to be a lecture, or is this genuinely going to be like a good like tail, you know? That's like really what it comes down to. Because
Yeah.
like they were putting a lot of good details about like the lore and everything they got on there, the people that they had work on the story and everything else like that. The combat looks pretty decent. And
Yeah.
and I do like to say this, like it was nice where they were like, yeah, we know it's a game about a black girl and we like that, but we don't want this game to just be known as like the black girl game.
That's easier said than done for some of these people.
Some of these people, but it's also very telling when they actually come out and do say that as like a thing too as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't want to be negative about stuff. Like I really try not to be, but it's just so hard because, quite frankly, they've given us the middle finger so many times, and then they make something look good, and then all of a sudden you get drop kicked in the face from the side, and it's like, you know what? You've kind of earned your position of, dude, I'm gonna tell you to go off, and then until I see the reviews.
From the players, not the shill industry.
I'll just go sailing. Like I'm not going to give them money because it is SBI.
It's on Game Pass. I'm just gonna try it out.
Yeah, it'll be on Game Pass. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like looking forward to it. I have a feeling it's gonna be not Concord, but I think it's gonna be like Dustborn level.
I don't see Dustborn in this one.
It would be really hard to reach levels of insufferability like Dustborn was.
Dustborn, they had like a whole thing about like we're just gonna make a leftist like wet dream game. Like you know, like everyone shits on Dustborn, but it's like it is art. They created what they wanted to create. You know, it's at the end of the day, it's like I don't have to really play it, and I shouldn't even give this attention because no one else did. You know,
right? Yeah. I played Dustborn because I have an addiction to cringe.
I want to play it too, just because I'm like I want to like experience this. Because every clip I saw made me laugh. I'm like, I'm not even mad at this game, and then I was like, I was laughing. I'm like, this is like one of the best comedies ever written. It's like The Room level to me.
Yes, exactly. Like if you look at it from like a satire, irony type thing, it's hilarious.
It's like that Bender meme where it's like he's laughing and he's like, "Oh wait, you're serious?" and you laugh even harder.
I use that GIF on X all the freaking time.
The other game that I'm looking forward that I don't know a whole lot about, I've just seen a trailer or two, is the first Berserker, Kazan.
Oh yeah, the bird lady.
I don't know about Bird Lady. I just remember seeing.
Oh wait, no, that's the other one. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So, there's too many Souls-like games now. I'm just getting them all confused. They all blend together.
I think you're thinking of Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, maybe?
That's what I was thinking of. Like I said, they all blend together at this point. They could all be the same game. Like Black Myth Wukong could be Wu Chang, whatever nonsense too. You know?
Yeah. I got a couple others that I didn't think about until I was scrolling through a list of games that are coming out next year. And I saw one that I know is going to be on Carl's list. But one that probably most people don't know about is called Mio. It's an acronym for Memories in Orbit, and it's a pretty good looking Metroidvania. So
I thought you said Milo for a second. I was like, the
Mio.
drink?
M-I-O, Mio, Memories in Orbit. Looks like a pretty good Metroidvania, so I'm looking forward to that one. And then my other big, like, first party, huge game that's coming out that I cannot wait for, and I will I've mentioned a couple times lately, it'll be the first time I pre-order and buy a game day one in like over a decade, is Metroid Prime 4.
Nice.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 looks good. I love the Metroid Prime games. I need to go back and play those.
I need to play them in general.
I just played through Prime 1 and 2 because they're on GameCube, and GameCube launched on Retro Achievements this summer. I just played 2 just a couple weeks ago, so I just need to play through Prime 3 again before Prime 4 comes out.
So I just looked at another list and was reminded of another game. Expedition 33 looks.
Claire Obscura looks so good.
I was getting that mixed up with another game that I had heard about, and I saw it mentioned in a video I watched a couple days ago, and I'm like, this game does look pretty interesting. I'm not going to play because it's turn-based.
Can't wait.
But it looks pretty interesting.
It's high on my list. It's also coming to Game Pass as well, so I can't wait to download that and just buy a physical copy and leave it on my shelf forever. I do that a lot. It is a horrible problem.
I mean, there's a lot of people who probably have the same problem.
But I'm basically doing a top 5 of this in December, so I'm just gonna kind of go with like some honorable mentions more
Okay.
than like some of the games I'm super excited for.
I
A
don't
couple of them
spoil
we
your
actually
own
did
stream.
name. Like South of Midnight. Like I said, that game just it's like that song. My mind keeps telling me no, but my body. That's just why I keep going. I was like I just I want it to be good, and I have hopes. I have hopes, and I'm just not gonna read any discourse online about it. I'm just gonna go into it, make my own opinion, and see what happens from there. Because I feel like that's what everyone should do. I don't think that's shocking or controversial to say. But one of the other games that is coming out is actually a remaster, and it was a PlayStation Vita exclusive, and that is coming out on PC and PlayStation and Switch, and that is Freedom Wars. I can't wait to do that. It's kind of like a Monster Hunter clone, but with like a different story. Like you are basically built live in prison, and to get your prison sentence down, you got to fight monsters and stuff like that. It was fun on the Vita, but it was also on the Vita, so that's why I didn't really like it too much.
I was gonna say that sounds familiar. It's probably you were probably telling me about it.
Yeah, I think I've said it many times. Like the Vita did not get Monster Hunter, so obviously they had to have like 17 Monster Hunter clones on there just to try to make it work. So yeah, that's for sure one of the games I'm looking forward to is definitely Freedom Wars.
Okay. Any others you want to mention?
Yes, actually, there was a demo for this game out right now that our buddy Mr. Angry Canadian recommended to me that he played, and I played it a little bit on stream. But it's called Sea of Fantasy, and it's a fishing JRPG.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but I remember you mentioning that one as well.
Yeah, pretty fun game. It says exactly what it is. You fish, and it's a JRPG.
Where does the JRPG part come in? Are you battling the fish that you're catching?
Some of them, yes. Like they have big, giant boss fights.
Okay.
I'm not finding this game.
He's
Is
like,
it
hold up, I'm
spelled
looking it up.
fantasy like SEA?
C like the ocean, and then FANTASY. Fantasy.
Okay, it is fantasy is spelled normally. That's
Is it a gotcha?
It's on Steam. It's spaced out. It's not one word.
JB says all Canadians should be angry. Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I got no sea.
Right.
I have no Sea of Fantasy.
No, there's no of. I had a of. It's Sea Fantasy. Sea Fantasy.
Oh,
Sea Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, drop the of. My bad.
okay. I want to go fishing and battle bosses.
Yeah, it's actually very solid for an indie game, and it says that the full release should be next year in January. So there you go.
All right. Another one that I just want to give a shout out to that looks pretty interesting. I don't know if I'll be playing it, but is Mouse PI. It's basically the first-person shooter, but it looks like a classic Mickey Mouse cartoon from like the Steamboat Willie days. That looks pretty interesting. Yeah, you haven't seen that one?
You've got to pull this up. You've got to show them that trailer.
The animation style is basically like Steamboat Willie cartoons from the 50s, and it's a first-person shooter.
It's a boomer shooter.
It's a boomer shooter. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Mouse PI for hire if you want to go check that one out. So, all right. Anyone else got any other games they want to mention that they're looking forward to in 2025?
I'm just also looking forward to what will be released next year that we haven't heard about.
Yeah, because quite frankly, I used to get excited about games being released, in advance. I think that industry has kind of dropped off with them announcing things early.
With the exception of Metroid Prime, it's like pretty much everything that I'm looking forward to playing is stuff that's already out that I just haven't played yet.
We just have so many games to play that it's just at this point, like when people complain about games getting delayed, I'm like, oh, thank God I got time to play a different game.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of helped.
I literally never have to buy another game ever again. Like,
oh yeah, same.
Yep. It's like,
I don't have to.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't care if games just stopped in entirety, but if they like took like a 10-year break of making games, I still have plenty to keep me busy in that time frame.
I've been wanting to play. I've been wanting to play a couple video games, other than what I've done so far, so bad. But the thing is, though, is that Steam doesn't do it well at all. Even though you can actually do it in 60 frames per second, when you share your screen of the game, it actually, because your audio from your microphone overlays onto the second computer, you get an echo, and it's awful. And I've actually had to go back to and start, use Restream Basic. I don't like Restream. Sorry, dude. I know that's what you use, but I fucking hate Restream. It is awful. You can't. It's just terrible to use.
Yeah, so if you're streaming something, yeah, I typically don't use Restream for gaming.
Yeah, no, and I use it as an OBS overlay. So basically, it's OBS integrated into Restream to stream to multiple platforms. It's how I started doing it, and it works fine, but it's not as chat friendly, in my opinion, as StreamYards is. And I think it's more about the chat than the actual gameplay, in my opinion. And so it kind of makes me grumpy.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, things like StreamYard and Restream are much better for like panel streams like this than they are for streaming gameplay or videos and stuff along those lines.
I mean, somebody tried to explain to me. They're like, "Oh, you use StreamYard to do this, so you're on. They see your face, and then you overlay this like underneath, and it's like, the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, dude, for the language, but I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, there's like a tutorial for this? They're like, oh, it's easy to do, and I'm like, not really.
Yeah, I've mentioned that a few times lately. I want to learn how to do that, but I need to. I don't even know where to start.
I need to talk to Horny Alf. Apparently, he knows how to do it. Jed, the Hollywood Scholar, is the one who.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about it on the last party chat.
And then, of course, it was just like I still can't figure it out. And of course, I forgot to ask Alf, but he doesn't even do it that way anymore. Like when we play World of Warships, we just communicate through his Discord, and he just basically shares his gameplay. That's it.
And thank you, JB. He's correcting me. The old Steamboat Willie cartoons were from the 20s. 1928 is when it first came out. So thank you for that.
Yes, he was around to remember them. That's why.
Yeah, pretty much. Lowest Expectations here. What's up, Lowest Expectations? Good to see you. Yeah, I know a lot of people looking forward to GTA 6. I don't give a crap about the GTA franchise. But yeah, I hope it's good. It'll probably get delayed. I know that
fell off after 4 for me.
I know a lot of people. Well, that's probably their number 1, but I've never cared about GTA. So
I got a question.
If it never comes out, I wouldn't care.
I just got a question. Don't you guys agree with me that Lethal Lightning looks like Nico Bellic?
Yeah,
I never thought about that, but now that you mention it, I totally see it.
I couldn't not see it the first time I saw him.
I love Lethal.
Same. He was a great guest.
Yeah, that was a good one. Oh wait, did I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I caught that one. Or did I? I'll have to go double check because I know I wanted to. But all right. Well, we'll wrap it up there for tonight. So thank you guys for joining me for the last episode of Party Chat for the year. So we'll go around the horn here. Static, what do you got to shout out?
Yeah, you can catch me over on my channel, Static 2020. Talk culture and politics. The next thing we've got going will be Thursday night for the weekend pregame at 6 Pacific, I think is the time it is. All the time changes got me screwed up. Where we'll be talking about special yeast beer and
yes.
You weren't planning on talking about that before the stream, were you?
No, I wasn't. But now that I've seen the website, that has to be discussed because I have questions. And we'll also be talking about the culture shift that's been going on because it's weird. I like it, but it's weird. And then Monday Night Bloodbath, where Nerdy Neo sometimes joins Shaka Zulu and I for a very political-based conversation every Monday. And
I plan to be back there on Monday.
Yeah. And then I'm on random stuff throughout the weekend. Dermy Wormies, Ballbusters, and whatever the hell happens Saturdays sometimes if I'm not working.
So, all right. Well,
I got to be on one of those just to bully Fractured. That's my goal.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. I do have the link to Static's channel as well as Carl and Ryan's channel in the stream description, but I'll drop it in the chat here as well. If you're not sub to Static, go give him a follow. So thank you for joining, and that was a lot of fun having you on.
Thank you. Yeah, I was glad to be here. This was fun.
Yeah, and I hope you had a better time than you anticipated when I first asked you, because I asked him, he's like, I'm not that big of a gamer. I'm like, well, if you want to back out, that's fine, but I think you'll be all right. And so hope you had fun.
Yes, it was a blast. Lots to laugh about, and we went places. It was a good time.
Well, we did kill about a good 20 minutes about the vaginal yeast beer. So
We could do another 20 more if you want.
No, thank
I mean,
you.
we could. I mean, I'm
And Fracture's like, I'm out.
You guys, if you want to do that, go on pregame with Static. Carl, what do you got going on? What do you want to plug?
Well, tomorrow night, you are going to be on my channel, and we're going to do a retrospective for the Mass Effect series.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun because tomorrow is the original release date of the Mass Effect first video game in 2007. So I decided that, yeah, it is Mass Effect November, and I want to talk about Mass Effect, and got one of my best friends online to come do that with me, who's also a big Mass Effect fan, so that should be fun.
My favorite video game franchise, so I'm very much looking forward to talking Mass Effect tomorrow. What time is that?
I have it for 6 p.m. your time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was same time that we started this one today, because I don't know how tomorrow's work is going to go, so I just gave it an extra wiggle room.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. So, yeah, as I said, go check out Carl's channel for that tomorrow, and let me see if the bot will work and pop the link to his channel in the stream. It worked last night during the Mass Effect stream. Hey, there we go. It worked. So go check us out on his channel tomorrow night to talk Mass Effect. Is it just the two of us, or is there going to be someone else joining us?
If someone else wants to join, by all means, but so far it's just you and me.
Okay, cool. I can't wait. So, and Ryan, what do you got going on?
Well, other than talking about vaginal yeast beer,
Say that as I take a sip of water.
Basically, probably tomorrow, I'm probably going to be doing another stream of basically it's Legion Does Nostalgia. It's basically just basically putting an overlay and doing a stream of episodes of How I Met Your Mother, commenting and stuff like that. Stopping, pausing to give my takes about how television used to be good, and it's just not anymore, and stuff. So, and then of course, I'm gonna try to stay awake for World of Warships. If Alphen and the guys play it, last time I fell asleep beforehand, I felt really bad about it. Because I really wanted to play, but I was like, getting up at 4 a.m. Every day for work is, you kind of go
brutal.
to bed pretty. Yeah, it's nice because you get off at 2:30 in the afternoon. You have like the rest of your day, but half the time I'm by like 7 o'clock. I'm like, I could go to bed, and it makes me feel older than shit. When I used to go to,
I know.
yeah, I used to go to bed at like 11 o'clock at night. Well, that's not going to happen because if I go to bed at like 10 p.m., like that's only 6 hours of sleep. But anyway, yeah. So that being said, hopefully, it'll be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, so yeah, Neo, I didn't know I didn't know it was one of your favorite shows. So I'll have to
Yeah,
have
I
you
love
on for a
that
review.
show. So
Somebody else actually contacted me that's kind of in our sphere. They're a smaller YouTuber. They're not really well known. They're like going, would it be possible to like maybe jump on and do and I was like, I mean, I didn't know you liked the show, but sure, like let me see some of the stuff you do. I don't really know who you are, but I checked out their videos and it's like they're in the same sphere as us. They're an up and comer, which I don't mind giving somebody a chance. It's young kid. Hell, fuck, I fucking befriended Shadow years ago, but anyway, Shadoo's still rolling around, in the sphere talking crazy. But no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm tired, so I'm rambling.
So yeah,
If you ever do House, I would like to be on that.
You know what? I have a lot of shows I want to do. This season 4 of House was one of my favorites. I didn't start with season 1. I actually started late in the game. I'd consider it. Yeah, absolutely. All you have to do is put an overlay. You're going to get a copyright claim for the audio for the most part, but it's not like getting copyrighted for video. They're a lot more lenient. So as long as you put like a 50% overlay, you can get away with it.
Okay. Yeah, usually I'm busy streaming 4 nights a week. So, but since I'm taking most of December off to take a little bit of a break, if you're doing it in December, I'm sure we could figure out a night if you're open to having me on for an episode.
I'm going to be doing it from start to finish. It's Legion Does Nostalgia is only going to be How I Met Your Mother. I literally did part 4 today. I stopped a little early because I kind of wanted to eat some food and stuff like that before this show. But yeah, I think yesterday was like 2 hour stream. The day before that, 3 hours. Today was like almost 2 hours. So
Wow.
and I do it about 3:40ish. Which would be 2:40 Pacific and 5:40 Eastern.
Okay, yeah, I could probably make that work on a day. So if you're open to having me on for an episode, I'd love to do that.
I mean, you free tomorrow? Oh, I might have to do it earlier tomorrow. So maybe Saturday. I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. Well, cool. Well, and as for myself, as mentioned, I will be on Carl's channel tomorrow. We're talking Mass Effect, and then I'm planning to do an open mic on Thursday, but I haven't had anyone confirm with me, so I don't know if I'm going to have a guest or whether I may go solo or I may just do some gaming. We shall see. And then I'll be back on. I'll be doing some Metroidvania Monday on Monday, and then I'll be hopping on over to Static's channel right after that for some Bloodbath. And then next Tuesday will be the next episode of Top 5. Due to the shifting of our schedules, we're going to be having 2 back-to-back top 5s, which is why this is the last party chat of the year. So we're doing top 5 party members this upcoming Tuesday, and then the Tuesday after that will be the last top 5 of the year, and we're doing top 5 PS1 games, which coincidentally, we did not even plan this, but coincidentally falls on the exact anniversary. I believe it's the 30th anniversary of the PS1. So we're like, we have to do PS1 games on this day. So,
God, 30th anniversary.
I may be wrong about what anniversary it is, but it's around the 30th.
No, that probably sounds pretty close to about right.
So, but all right. Well, let's see here. Lowest Expectations said, we're in for a ride when that new Ass Effect game comes around. It's going to make Andromeda look like a Christian game. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be good, but I have no expectations that it will, especially given how Failguard turned out. So, yeah. So that's why I have still fingers crossed. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I have higher hopes for what is going to be is essentially the spiritual successor to Mass Effect, because it's made by a bunch of the old BioWare devs, and that's Exodus. We know almost nothing about this game yet, but the little bit that we've seen looks great. So, and JB is saying that it was December 3rd, 1994, so that would make it the 30th anniversary. Thank you, JB. Appreciate that. So, yep, the 30th anniversary. We'll be doing our top 5 PS1 games. So, thank you, everyone who came and hung out and chat with us over the last 2 hours while we talked about video games and then some other stuff that was not on the agenda. And thank you guys for joining me on the panel. I had a great time. And yeah, we'll, Carl, I'll see you tomorrow. But Ryan, if I don't have a How I Met Your Mother stream with you, I probably won't be on a stream with you until we resume party chat in the new year. So you guys all have a great December and a Merry Christmas. And we will see you all later. Have a good one, everyone. We'll catch you for the next episode of Party Chat in January. And we'll see you then. So you guys have a good night. And as always, in the meantime, game on.
Closing time. Turn.